Do you think you've had any pushback in that scene at all because of your skin color?
I think in general people love it because some people are acknowledging their culture, and it's not a culture like America where it's kind of
Okay.
globalized the world. But obviously, you do get a few people that don't like it. You know, they might think, "Oh, you're misappropriating the culture."
Hey.
In general, I've managed.
Hey, on today's episode of the Two Left Feet podcast, we had on the amazing Sean Wilson. He's the DJ from Manchester, United Kingdom. Great episode. We talk about DJing, what it was like growing up in Manchester. We talk a lot about the Kizomba music, the Semba music. Man, this was a really cool episode. You're gonna enjoy it. Thank you.
I am now on the line with a Mr. Sean Wilson, aka DJ Botanical. Is that correct?
That's correct, bro.
Hey. So you were born in Swansea, Wales, but you grew up in Manchester, United Kingdom, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
So you are the founder of Kizomba Manchester, which provides weekly Kizomba classes as well as club nights.
Uh-huh.
So you are a Kizomba and Afro DJ, and you've played pretty much all over the United Kingdom, right?
Yep, all over most of the cities.
That's awesome, man. How you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm very well. Good weather. It's nice and warm here, so
Okay.
been enjoying the sun for a change.
Okay, for sure. I'm curious, man. I- I've never been to the United Kingdom or Manchester, man. Please tell me, what is it like there, man?
Manchester. It's a nice city. It's second or third city of the UK. Terrible weather, hence why I'm enjoying the weather today. We've got a rare bit of sunshine and heat today in an April. It's not usual to have this kind of weather, so
Oh.
it's a cool city. It's cool. Just the weather's. I just hate the weather.
And so what you mean by the weather? Like it's always raining or what?
It's always overcast or raining.
Oh.
Even in the summer, it might be quite warm, but it's just like grey. So you look outside and it's just like cloud everywhere. And then we have like 1 or 2 weeks of summer, and then it
That's
just goes back to
crazy.
cloud.
Okay, that is, man. That kind of messes your emotions, man. Now, I'm curious, man. Going back to your childhood, man, what was it like growing up in Manchester?
That was all right. It was cool.
Cool.
Just a regular upbringing, I think, really. Mum and dad had a sister. Used to love playing football, English football, not American football. Um, yeah, pretty standard.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was reading your Facebook page. I believe you had a lot of like I guess Angolan and Pilot friends. Is that correct?
yeah. When I became a teenager, I started playing football, and I met quite a lot of Polop friends through football. And then obviously they introduced me to like the parties and the kind of music, and that's how I got into Kizomba and that
Okay.
kind of Afro kind of music.
Okay. I'm curious, man. Did you grow up in like a musical household or a dancing household?
No, my sister used to sing like choir music, so she was in the National Youth Choir of Great Britain. So they travelled around the world. I think they even went to America, like San Diego, San Francisco. I think they
Okay.
went to California. But myself, not really. I was more into sport and football, and then I started getting into dance and music with Kizomba, really.
And what about your parents? Your music or dancing or anything? Or?
No, they're civil servants, like regular jobs. Dad liked football. I like football.
Okay.
My mum was academic, but nothing, no kind of anything to do with Kizomba or African.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm curious, man. So you're growing up in Manchester and all that. You get some friends and everything. Is there a big dance community or a dance scene in Manchester, or is it
Yeah,
not really?
yeah. There's quite a big scene, and there's really, if you're talking about Kizomba, there's two kind of scenes. There's the Kizomba scene, and then there's more of the Afro scene. So depending on which night you go to, the music will be different. So if you go to a Kizomba night, it's going to be just mainly Kizomba and Semba and Ghetto Zouk and Tarashini. If you go to like an African night, you're going to get Kizomba and that those kind of genres,
Oh,
Afro house and Afro beats, and So there's two scenes really, and they're both quite good. I feel in Manchester.
Okay, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, man. What got you into DJing, man?
DJing was out of necessity. I used to have a friend that used to DJ for me. He wasn't really a DJ, but he was a friend. He was a friend that knew a lot about music. So he just put the songs on in the social. And then due to work commitments, he couldn't come anymore. So I thought I'll put some songs on, and then I started really enjoying it. And then I got kind of like deeper into it. It wasn't really a plan. It was just something that happened, and just discovered that I really enjoy DJing.
Okay.
Yeah, and it just kind of built from there.
Yeah, okay. I'm curious, man. Tell me, what was it like learning to DJ? What was that? The beginning stages of you doing it. What was that like?
I'll be honest, it might sound a bit arrogant, but it's pretty easy for me. I don't know if I'm a
Okay.
natural at it, but it was just really easy. I kind of looked at it almost, studied a little bit about it just myself. I didn't go any courses, but just like, Google, YouTube, those kind of things. But it's just something that I found really natural to do. So I got quite good quite quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know this for a fact though. I know, from when you first started DJing to where you are today. I know you've only gotten better. So tell me, you know, um, I guess what has changed for you? Like, how have you gotten better? Is it your mixing or is it your playlist?
I think knowledge. I think a lot of it is
Ah,
knowledge, and I mean that in every sense. So knowing the music better, knowing how to mix better, knowing how to use the equipment better. It's just constantly improving on your knowledge. And if you understand the structure of music, then I think it can be quite easy to DJ. But I think a lot of people don't understand the structure of music, and that's maybe sometimes where they struggle. But I think it's just knowledge, just studying and observing others as well, seeing what they do, and then you can learn from them as well.
okay. I want to ask you, man. Please expand on what you mean by the structure of music. What do you mean by that?
Well, most songs, especially if it's more of the commercial side, they're based on a pop format. So every pop song usually has an introduction, and then you'll have like a verse which explains the story of the song, and then you have a chorus which is like the hook,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
like the thing that repeats that is catchy, and then it'll either go back to something called a break, which is like a kind of almost like it's like similar to the intro, but it's in the middle of the song. Or sometimes they'll go back to another verse and then a chorus, and most of the time, each section, it's like I think they call it phrases of a song is the same. It's either 16 beats or it's 32 beats usually.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can kind of, even without listening to a song, you can almost predict what's going to happen and when the
Exactly.
part of the song is going to change. So yeah, I think that helps a lot understanding the structure of it. But a lot of the time, it's just a feeling. When I first started mixing, I didn't know that it was just a feeling from going to parties and organizing parties. That's the right part of the song to mix to change the song, if you know what I mean. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I mostly interview like performing or sorry, performance dancers
Mm.
and instructors, and so I think I asked him about musicality, and I think you might have musicality as well, because just musicality. What I think it is just um being able to interpret the music.
Hmm.
But I think how you get better at musicality is understanding that pattern. You hear that genre of music over and over, and you see the pattern in it, and you can kind of anticipate what's going to happen next. What you can do with that.
This is it exactly. And I mean, the only time it can differ slightly from the pop format is sometimes with things like Kizomba and Semba and Colladera. Especially Colladera doesn't always stick to like a 16 or 32 beats phrase. Sometimes it'll go be like 24 beats
Ah,
and stuff like that. So uh, that's why in general it's kind of easier to mix the more commercial kind of stuff you get on
okay.
your. Whereas your Coladeras and your Sembas, a lot of the time they're not as orthodox, if that
Nah, I
makes sense.
get you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely get you, man.
So yeah, but yeah, music. What was the question again? Sorry, it was
No,
about
no.
music
Yeah,
interpretation.
yeah. Just we're just talking about that pattern, though. I understand what you're saying
Yeah,
about that pattern. I get that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You'll even see a lot of people dancing when they dance in Tarashinia. They're always subconsciously they're gonna end up like back on a one beat with the left foot. because they know that's like the start of a new path.
Exactly. I guess 8 count or 4 count, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Hey kid, come here. Hey, if you could leave a like and subscribe, that would be amazing for the channel. Let's get back to the show.
I'm curious, man. Do you dance at all?
Yeah, I dance. I teach in Manchester anyway.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't used to teach. We had a great teacher called Velma, but she's having a family at the moment, so I was covering her, but now
Okay.
she's had another kid, so I'm just running the classes there.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about that then, man. What did you start dancing originally? What did you first start taking?
With friends, like a lot friends, friends, not girlfriends, but friends of like that were girls, and just in the club, they say, "Oh, do you know how to dance this?" And I'd be like, "No." So then they just kind of backlead and
And so what? Semba Kizomba or like what? What you mean?
more like clubby kind of bits of Kizomba, but Tarashinia and Kizomba.
Okay.
Tarashinia is more like especially for the younger people, it's more of a club sound.
Yeah, exactly. It's that repetitive beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the thing that's been big the last 10 years or so. But yeah, and then just slowly I started going to classes with Velma and Eddie Vance as well, because Eddie Vance is
I'm trying to have him on the show. Yeah, I'm trying to have him on the show.
Great to have on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's very knowledgeable. He knows a lot.
Yes, yeah. So I'm curious, man. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about you initially learning to dance. I assume you said you didn't really grow up in a dancing household. So what was that like learning to dance, man?
Oh, it was hard. It was like two left feet, like the name of your show.
Yeah, it is, man.
It wasn't easy, but I'll tell you one thing. Eddie and Velma, they did a course in Manchester, and I'd already started dancing a bit with my Palop friends. But when Eddie came down, he explained the rules of the dance almost, and that's when it clicked. Because I'm like watching them doing like a retrocess or a virgula. I'm like, how are they doing that? But then Eddie came down and he broke it down and really, really explained it. So from that moment, the kind of combination of dancing socially with my Palop friends and then the workshop with Eddie and Velma helped me to improve a lot.
That's cool, man.
Knowledge, like this is why we do this. This is when we do this. This is how you do this, and yeah, like scientific almost approach. Yeah.
I'm curious, man. I don't know if you remember now, but can you tell me what are the rules to the dance? Do you remember?
There's not rules. It's more basic steps. So obviously, you have
Okay.
basic Tarashini. That's usually the introduction of a song, or in a break, you usually use Tarashini. If you're talking about a Kizomba song, anyway, because it's different.
Exactly. Right.
Side to side, heartbeat kicks in. They start singing. That's when you start traveling and virgulas and all this kind of thing. There's lots of things he taught. It was a big workshop, but there's many things, different rules. And I try to teach those as well in the classes that I do. Pass that knowledge on.
What do you teach? Is like Semba Kizomba or
Kizomba? Yeah, I mean we do bits of Tarashinia as well. We talk about the music. So one thing that I noticed in the nights a lot, we ended up having dancers in one corner, Palops in the other, and I don't like that. I like people to mix. So what I would say is like in Europe and maybe America, we tend to dance Kizomba and Semba to get Zouk and Tarashinia. But in the African community, they dance Kizomba and Semba to Kizomba and Semba. So if you're grabbing an African lady, for example, and you start doing all kinds of crazy moves and it's Nelson Freitas, then they're not going to want to dance with you because then it's a different interpretation of music.
Yeah.
So I explain those kind of things, like the cultural side of it. I'm like, if you want to dance Kizomba or urban kiz or whatever to get on Zouk, that's cool. But if you're dancing with natives, just be aware that you may have an issue with that. So maybe dance Tarashini or some basic Kizomba.
Yeah.
It depends who you're dancing with.
Definitely. I say I know for a fact, man, the music it dictates everything, right?
Yeah. It does. And we teach from more of I teach from more of an African perspective. So to get Zouk Tarashini is what we do. Tarashini to maybe some basic Kizomba step.
Yeah.
You have Kizomba and Semba, and that's when you start dancing Pasada and different kinds of like moves like Saidas and stuff like that. So yeah, it's more of like a social. I try to get people to dance socially. The whole point classes, and the night is it's a social experience. So
Right.
people can, because in England we have nights more in clubs and bars, so it is more of a social thing as to like you go to a dance school. Do you know what I mean? We from the start we try to get people dancing in a social way, like a club night.
Okay. So
Yeah,
so I guess you offer like a club night after the classes or what?
yeah,
Okay.
and that's the most popular part of the night
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
social.
exactly. Yeah, that's so different, man. Cause I'll tell you, man, I'm from I'm not from here, but I live in New Orleans, Louisiana, man. And I currently we have one Kizomba teacher, man, and we have one social like a week, man.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So it's a lot different, man.
And it's not like you can travel because America's big. So if you want to go to another city, it's not, sometimes you have to get on a plane or you have to drive 3 or 4 hours.
It's yeah, man. It's exactly 3 or 4 hours, man. The next biggest city I believe is like Texas, Houston, Texas, man. And
Wow.
it's a big scene over there, but that's still like a 6 hour drive from where I'm at.
No, that's too far. Step over on a Monday night.
Right, exactly, man. I gotta wait from go to work the next morning, so it's unfortunate, man. I'm curious. I know you live in the UK. Would you happen to know a Miss Rakita Alta?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, she's a
yeah,
friend of mine.
yeah.
Rakita,
I've
yeah.
I've had her on the show, man. She's wonderful. She's grade A.
I saw the interview.
Yeah, yeah. She's
I watched
grade
the
A.
interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was very happy to have her on, man. Yeah. She was telling me. I guess you already know, man. It's I feel like, all right. She told me it's a bigger Kizumba is like a bigger scene over there. Is that correct?
hmm Yeah, and
Yeah.
especially where she's from in London, it's just like there's 3 or 4 nights a week, events a night, So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome, man. That's so awesome. Let me ask you this, man. When you're DJing a party, um, do you play to the crowd, or or are you playing like what you want to hear?
I play to the crowd always, always to the crowd. And other people will disagree with that. You've got to have your own style. You've got to impose the music on people. No, I like to play for the crowd. What the crowd want is what the crowd gets. And then if I can play a little bit of what I want, but the crowd also likes, and that's the best. When you like what you're
All
playing,
right. Yeah,
like what you,
yeah,
there's like two circles. There's a circle there, what they like. There's a circle what you like. And if you find the overlap,
yeah.
that's
Exactly.
the play.
The Venn
Yeah,
diagram. I get you.
yeah.
I want to. Well, I'll just say this, man. I know it's as a dancer, I'm not a DJ, but as a dancer, man, it's like there's no better feeling when like the DJ puts on like your favorite song, you know what I'm
hmm
saying? And you like, you know what I'm saying, go get that good dancing. It's amazing, man.
hmm
Yeah, I love that, dude.
DJing it, even DJing it. You see DJs jumping up and down like that when they're feeling a song. Yeah, it's a good feeling.
That's awesome, man. Let me ask you this, man. In your opinion, what do you think separates like a good DJ from like an excellent or superior DJ?
An excellent or superior DJ from a good DJ.
Yeah, yeah.
I think knowledge is one, like I said before, knowledge. So, and I think it's always improving. You've always got to improve, and you've got to keep up with the times as well.
Okay.
You've got to keep up with the times because the music is changing, the music's evolving. So, I try to start from, and I'm still learning from the history. So I like to know the old Zooks and all that kind of stuff from back in the day, but I'm also keeping up with the current thing. And I think to be there's little things. It's those extra like 0.5% in everything that add up to 5 or 10% to make you better than other DJs or to make
Yeah.
the DJ. It's not really a competition between yourself and other DJs. You have to have a competition with yourself to get better as a DJ.
Uh-huh.
You shouldn't think about you shouldn't think in terms of competing with other DJs. You should think, okay, they do that better than me, so I'm going to do what they do to be better. But
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
thinking I need to be better than that DJ because I need to be the best. You need to think I need to be better in myself to be a better DJ. And if other people are doing things that I can learn from, then I'm going to learn from them. So
Yeah.
it's like humility as well. You've got to be, have humility to say, if there's another DJ and he's really good at a lot better at Sembas than you, and you say, man, like, can you help me out and improve me on my Sembas? Or if there's a
Okay.
guy that transitions better, you say, you can learn from him as well and say like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
I think
I, I'm
humility and hard work and knowledge.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Is there Are there a lot of Kizomba and African DJs in Manchester or
Yeah,
Afro DJs? Oh, okay, there is.
there's a lot. There's a lot of, especially the pull-ups, because the scene started really with a big pull-up influence in other cities in the UK. It started with a salsa influence. So
Mhm.
even in London, it started out, as Rakita was saying, with Iris and Quenda and herself, introducing it to the salsa scene. So they added it on as an extra, like kind of like bachata is to the salsa scene.
Okay,
Whereas in,
okay.
whereas in Manchester, I was helping my friend out to do African nights, and there wasn't really a Kizomba night. So the Kizomba people wait in 2 hours to dance Kizomba.
Oh.
And I kept telling him you need to do a Kizomba night with classes and all this. And Velma was trying at the time, but it was in a dance studio, so there's nowhere to practice. So then I teamed up with Velma and we started our own night in Manchester just for Kizomba.
That's what's up, man. That's
Mm.
awesome.
Yeah, and then we joined them both together. So sometimes we
Okay.
have two rooms. I have an Afro room, we have a Kizomba room. Or sometimes we have Kizomba until a certain time, and then a mix of music after a certain time. I always like to
Hey.
have a mixture of people. I like to have I'm trying to what's the word? They're the pull-ups or they're like the people whereas from their cultures together with the dancers, so it's more of an authentic kind of a feel. You
Okay,
know,
yeah, definitely
I
understand that.
I don't like. I like people mixing. I like integration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say as a dancer, I like to have variety as well, man. Like I love right. So right now, Kizumba is easily my favorite dance. I love Kizumba, man. But I also dance salsa, bachata. I do a little bit of Brazilian zouk as well. So like, if I go to a party and they play, that whole wide spectrum, man, it's just, in my opinion, it's so much better than just a strictly, one, strictly
Hmm.
this genre or anything. So
Hmm.
I definitely love that, man. Now, I'm
Yeah.
curious. I'm curious, man. How does the DJ get better? Like, what do you practice? How do you practice?
Um, I practice a lot at events because I do a lot of events, so I'm
Mhm.
constantly practicing. But you can practice at home if you got your speakers and you. To be honest, you don't even really need. I mean, it is good to have a mixer,
Uh-huh.
but I mean, like I started off on a laptop as a laptop DJ.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Cost and because I didn't think I would be a DJ, I was just putting songs on for people at the social. It wasn't something that I planned to do, but it's just study. I would say study. Watch tutorials, ask DJs that have experience,
mm,
and it's understanding the structure of the music.
yeah,
It's just studying. It's studying and practice. You have to practice. If you don't practice, and you
yeah.
don't,
So that's what I mean though. Practicing, like, are you saying just put some songs on, like when you're practicing, like, are you mixing it? Like, are you mixing songs? What do you mean by practicing? I'm just curious.
well, the first thing you need to do is listen to the song, even though you roughly know what the structure of the song is.
Okay.
Study the song. Say, right, this is
So
the
get
part
get
I want to.
familiar with your tracks, I guess, right?
Yeah, get familiar with the tracks. Listen to the tracks. This song will go well with this song.
Right.
This is the right part of the song to transition out. This is the right part of the song to transition into.
Okay, okay.
Study the music. That's the first thing. Just by listening to the music, you can understand. You can make your mix better and make you a better DJ. And then it's just practicing. And I think you have to put yourself out there and DJ at parties, even if it's a house party with your friends or whatever, or little parties. Because even if people are criticizing you, it's good. Because if they're not liking what you're doing, then if you're humble enough and you say, okay, what did you like? What did you like? Then they give you the feedback. Then you're gonna get better as a DJ.
Right.
You got to listen to your crowd as well. You got to listen
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the and I think some people don't, and I think that's the detriment of themselves. You've got
Okay.
to listen to what, and that's how you improve. I just think getting out there and doing it.
Okay. I'm curious, man. How do you read the room? Is it just, by the amount of people who are dancing as opposed to standing around? Is that how you read the room, or is it the energy? Like, what is it?
Yeah, that's one of the ways is seeing how many people are dancing. But there's other reasons. People might be tired, or it might be the beginning of the night and they've
Right.
just had a
Right.
drink and they want to have a drink first before they dance. Energy is another good way, actually. Yeah, because if sometimes I've had people, I have a lot of Africans come to my night, and for them, especially the Ghetto Zooks and Tarashinia, it's like pop music. So when I've been DJing in Lisbon, sometimes the dance floor will be full. Nobody's dancing in partner, but they're like, yeah, and they're singing along to the song like it's an anthem. So, like you said, the energy is another good way to pick that up. If people are singing along, or they're clapping, or
Okay.
yeah, I think it's also important to know when to change the style of music. So if you're playing a load of songs and initially everybody's loving it, but then they're getting tired of it. So some people might imagine you playing some ghetto zooks and then people get tired. then it's time to change it up to Kizomba or Semba, or if you're in an African night, you've got more choice of what you're going to play.
Yeah, yeah,
The genres in an African night that it's like a pop night, but with an Afro touch to it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I-
and
I'm
sometimes
curious.
just trial and experiment. Trial and experiment.
Right, right. That's a big thing, right?
Put one or two tracks on of a genre. If that's not working, then change it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, man. When you're first getting into a set, do you have like a playlist in mind, like some tracks in mind, or like are you just like freeballing it?
I'm pretty much freestyle. Obviously, I might do my background research. I might go to the night before I DJ that. Like, imagine it's like a monthly event. I might go to the month before to see what the vibe is and what people are liking. Um, I'll download songs and I'll categorize them and I'll have an idea of what goes what right with what. But the thing is, if you just play a playlist, then you can't. That's just like being in iTunes. You
Right,
need to be
right.
able to change on the spot. If the floor's dying, you've got to change the style. And if you have just a playlist that you're going to play, you can't do that. So you have to freestyle. Everybody, I think, to a certain extent, freestyles.
Yeah,
You could have a set, and if nobody likes it, you're going to have to change that set.
yeah. You gonna have to, man.
Yeah.
I'm curious, man. How do you keep up with new music? What's your process about that?
With new music, there's quite a lot of platforms.
Exactly. Like I said, there's so much music out there, man. It's
Yeah.
overwhelming.
Sometimes that's the problem. There's too much. But I'm lucky in the sense that I have a lot of friends, obviously, a lot of friends as well. So and a lot, even dance friends, and they'll keep me updated if I've not got it, got the song that they want, or they might say, "Man, this song came out today. You need to download that and play that on
Okay.
Saturday."
Okay. Okay.
But a lot of it, yeah, there's YouTube and there's trends. Sometimes you try and look at trends. So if you're on social media and loads of people are posting a particular song,
Right. Right.
no, that's gonna probably be a song that works. Well, I think a lot of it is just a feeling if that song's good or not as well. Sometimes you just have a feeling if a song's good, and you put it on the playlist. Um, and I mean, sometimes it might not be a famous song, but if you feel it's a good song, it's a good song.
Yeah. I'm curious about this, man. Say it's say you find a song that you personally don't like, but it seems popular. Are you still gonna put it on or what?
Yeah, I'm serving the public.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And it might not even be a song I don't like. It might just be a song that's constantly playing. You know when you like a song, but then it plays too much, and then
Too
you
much.
like the classical rebound chick or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and then there was Gata Morena, so it was a good song, but people just kept playing it and playing it and playing it.
Right.
So
Right.
kind of boring after a bit. But you have to. I play for the crowd.
Mm.
I play for the crowd, and they're the most important people because they're the
Mhm.
people that are supporting your nights, and they're the people that
Right.
support not just financially, but they're backing you with by turning up and giving you moral support. So you have to play you have to play for them.
Yeah. I'm curious, man. Are you a full-time DJ or do you have a day job?
This is it now. Yeah, I used to work in a school doing PE, but obviously doing a daytime job, then DJing at night, and then having to go and do a daytime job in the day.
Oh,
So something had to give, and this moment in time, the school job gave, and it's DJing and promoting, and that's it now. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. How long have you been full-time with this?
since December 2016.
Oh man, that's awesome, man.
Years, yeah, a couple of years now.
Dude, so tell me, man, that's awesome, man. You get to, I would imagine, do your passion, right? What
Hmm.
you love to do.
We can
Tell
do
me,
it at
man.
quality. Sorry, what were you saying? Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Hmm.
tell me what is that like, man? Being a full-time DJ and promoter, what is that life like?
It's it's good because you have more time to dedicate to it, and it's less tiring. Obviously, you can sleep properly because sometimes I'm sleeping 2 or 3 hours, and it's not healthy if you're doing that 3 or 4 times a week.
Of course not.
It's not as stable as having a regular job. So that's
Right, right.
you might one month you might earn a lot of money, then the next month you might not earn hardly anything because you're not only depending on yourself, you're depending on venues if venues close down, and
Right.
so it is more of a stability versus going with the passion. And I decided to go with the passion, and it's going well in general. It's going well. I've had hard moments. I've had really really good moments, but I think it improves you as well. It makes you want to be better because you're more dependent on the nights being better. So you have
Yeah.
quality of the night's better. Everything has to be better because there's no fallback.
Right.
So it pushes you to an extra level, I think, if you go
Yeah.
full time.
I'm curious. Are you still currently doing a lot of traveling? To different venues, different sets.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be in America at the Shea Festival in Las Vegas.
Okay.
I think that's the 9th to the 12th of May. So I'm looking
Okay.
forward to
That's awesome, man.
popping over. Yeah. So a little plug there for Eddie.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's what's
Little
up.
plug there for Eddie's event.
You
But
Oh,
yeah,
keep going.
I'm going to Portugal in June, and Spain probably as well to play. So yeah, I travel mainly it's the UK and Portugal for our DJ.
I'm curious, man. How does that work? How can I ask this? How can I word this? Like I imagine you said yourself, there's a lot of DJs, where you're at. What what separates you from like the next guy? Like, why does someone say, hey, I want DJ Sean and not, this guy? Is it like the audience? Like if you understand what I'm asking you.
Um,
How did you get put on
organizers
in?
might like you. Sometimes
Okay,
the
okay,
organizers
okay.
might like you. Sometimes it's the public. They'll put a lot of pressure on the promoters to bring certain DJs.
Yeah.
So sometimes they have quite a big following. The DJs, so obviously, um, and I think it's just your work. If you work hard and you do a good job, eventually you're
Stand
gonna get
out.
recognition. You're gonna get invited. I mean, there's different strategies that people use, but I just tend to try and make myself the best I can be, and then hopefully that's good enough and people invite me.
Hey.
Yeah.
How'd you get put on with the? You said that was Eddie Vince event in Las Vegas. Is that his thing?
Hmm.
Okay. And so he said, "Hey man, I want to fly you out. I want to have you out here, man."
Yeah. It's the
That's
second
awesome.
time I've been to America now with Eddie.
Okay.
Yeah, the first time I came over to Portland and I played in Seattle. It was more of a last minute kind of a thing, but this time he was like, "Man, I'm getting you back. You're
That's
coming."
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Hell yeah, that's so awesome. I'm curious, man. Tell me about Kizomba Manchester. I believe that's your baby, right?
That's the organization. And yeah, that's the promotional name that I'll use. Sometimes I use Tentação as well, which means temptation in Portuguese. So like
Mm.
Kizomba Tentação. But yeah, it's mainly under the Kizomba Manchester banner. And that's really the organizational side. So it would be like Kizomba Manchester presents, and then
Okay,
the name
okay.
or if you want to organize an event, that's the company frame that we use. Um, and I'm the head of that. I'm also the DJ of that. I'm also the teacher of that. But I
Okay,
also
yeah.
work for me as well. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I'm curious. What made you, create that? How did that come about? What brought that about?
Yeah, just like I was saying before, I had couple of plot friends and they were running the African nights, but people were waiting around a long time for Kizomba because you've got Kuduro, you've got Afro House, you've got hip hop within those nights. And they just wanted a Kizomba night. So I would put a lot of pressure on my friends to make the Kizomba night and they didn't do it. And I said, well, I'm going to go and do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I joined forces with Velma, and we just, which was the teacher at the time, and we just created the night and started in the universities, and then took it to the clubs.
Okay. Do
Yeah,
you think you're one of the, like, I guess, original groups or one of the original Kizumba Summer nights?
in the northwest, I think we
Okay.
wants to do it in the northwest of England, so it's quite a big area. You've got like Manchester and Liverpool and that kind of area. We were the first ones to really do regular kind of club nights with classes. So yeah, 2011 we started in, so it's quite a while ago now.
That is, man. So that's 8 years now. Was it in those beginning stages? Was it immediately a big scene, or did you have to slowly build it up?
No, no. I mean, when we did our first event, we had 10 people there,
Okay.
and now we in big events we've had up to 600 people the weekend.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like, and it's grown quite a lot, but it grew pretty quickly in terms of the weekly stuff because there's the weekly kind of events which are the smaller kind of things. We have classes and a social, but then the kind of 600s are your big weekend events with big DJs and big singers and things like that. But it just kind of it just kept growing, but it grew pretty quickly to be honest. Within a
Okay.
year, instead of having 10 people on the Tuesday night, we'd have 40 people there. So
Okay.
it was just like a couple of people learn, and then they would tell their friends and bring their friends, and we
Word of
didn't use
mouth.
the team like most cities. It's a salsa teacher that would decide to start teaching Kizomba in England. So you'd have like a salsa night. The salsa scene has been established in Manchester for like 25, 30 years. But I wasn't a salsa person. I was just a regular guy off the street. I wasn't anything to do with salsa. So I think that was one of the reasons initially why it was quite slow
Ah,
building. Whereas if I would have been a salsa teacher, it would have been a salsa teacher that brought Kizomba there. I think it would have grew a lot quicker in the
mm.
initial first 6 month stage. I think.
I'm curious, man. What in those first 6 months, when it was really slow, like why did you not give up? Like what kept you going?
Because I love Kizomba, and I felt there was a need for it. And like I said, it was hard, but there was improvement. Um, yeah, and it was just something I felt passionate about and I wanted to do, and I wanted other people to have a chance to do as well. Because there was quite a little bit of it, there was quite a lot of interest in it, but there wasn't a regular place for people to go. And of course, when you start a new night, a lot of the time with dancers, they already have a night that they go to. So a lot of our guys
Right, right.
going to a salsa night. So it took them a few months to then decide, okay, we're not going to go to a salsa night or a bachata night. We're going to start going to this Kizomba night on a Tuesday. And
Ah,
it snowballed from there, really. Uh,
that's awesome, man.
yeah,
I,
but I
I,
didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. I just kind of went along with it and learned on the job, really.
yeah. Now you saw, yeah, you saw something lacking, and you know what I'm saying. You acted upon it, man. You feel that need. That's
That's it.
awesome, man. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm curious, man. What do you think? What do you think makes like Angolan music so special to you? What makes Kizomba or Semba Tadasinya? Why does that click with you? Why does it resonate with you?
I just like the sound. I just love the
Okay.
sound. I can't explain it. It's just there's nothing really quite like that kind of music, is there? I think. Initially, I must admit I like more. Man, to be honest though, I did like more of the kind of traditional Kizomba kind of stuff. But I was into the ghetto zouk originally,
Okay.
so it sounded a bit familiar, a bit like R&B, a bit like hip
Yeah,
hop,
yeah, yeah.
singing in English as well. So I think a lot of the time with dancers that draws them originally. But luckily, I had quite a rich foundation, so I was still aware of the Kizombas. Obviously, I wasn't able at the time to say that's a Kizomba, that's a ghetto zouk, that's every
Ah, tell the difference.
time, you know. So I had quite a good background there with obviously my African friends, but I just love the sound of it. I can't explain what it is. It's just
Yeah, sometimes things just click with you.
yeah.
I'm curious, man. I'll be honest with you. Even myself, man. I probably wouldn't be able to tell you like this genre from this genre, man. Is this something you could put into words how to differentiate the genres, or is it just hearing it?
Even sometimes I struggle because a lot of times it's fusion, especially between Kizomba
Ah,
and Kom
right,
and Coladeira. So it's not a black and white. Um, it's not a black and white thing, but I think generally, in general, the ghetto zouk is more of an electronic kind of thing. You can produce it on a computer. There's not really any live instruments.
right, exactly.
It's like in a pop format. Tarashina is similar, but it usually has harsher instruments.
It's more repetitive, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a producer at the moment. This is the next step is actually
Okay,
producing.
nice. Hell yeah.
So I'll be able maybe in a year or two to say it's this instrument, that instrument, or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, and then if you're talking kizomba, you start having like saxophones and pianos and
Mm.
that kind of guitars maybe thrown in, and also Semba you have some I think a reka, which is like a kind of like a grating kind of a sound.
Okay.
But you also
Yeah, I say Simba sounds like that island music and kind of like live instrument, right?
yeah. I mean, you can have a 16-piece band. It's Kizomba and Semba can be very similar to like a salsa band. You've got the congos and all
Right. Yeah, yeah.
drums. It's pretty similar. There's a lot of similarities there. I think between those kind of musics. Um, so yeah, it's just really I think the instruments, it's the format of the music as well, the layout of the music, the structure of the music. Um, Often they're singing about different things.
Yeah,
So
definitely. The lyrics are definitely a big part of it too, as well.
yeah, so I mean, Tarashini is more about lust.
Right.
Zook is love and lust, but more like lovey kind of, dovey kind of, lusty kind of things. And then obviously Kizomba, you've got love, but you've also got like social issues, and then Semba
Yeah.
telling a story,
Exactly.
thing going on. But there's a lot of crossover. It's difficult to tell what's a Kizomba and what's a Semba for me these days because they're even using a lot of the Semba instruments in Kizomba.
Ah.
I mean, they've always done it, but they're doing it a lot more now. I'd say there's a lot of guys producing. It's pretty much compa, but it's compa mixed with Semba, and then that's it. So it's complex. There's no black and white areas.
Yeah.
Maybe when I started producing, I can be of more use to you. But
I understand. I'm curious. Do you speak Portuguese, man?
yeah.
Oh, you do speak it.
Very badly, but I speak Portuguese.
Okay. Well, so let me ask you this, man. I don't speak Portuguese. I know a lot of people who don't speak it as well, man. Um, what can we do if there's like a Simba song on, man, and it's a very painful song? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, is there anything we can do when we don't know the lyrics, and so we don't dance out of place? You know what I mean is like dance kind of happy to this painful song. Is it just like feeling the pain in the music? Like how can we differentiate that? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying because sometimes it'll sound like quite a chirpy tune, but the lyrics are quite deep and
Yeah.
meaningful.
Yeah.
Sometimes the songs will sound like a lot of, like for example, Mourner can sound quite sad. It's not really Kizomba no Mourner, but I'm sure it's a good question. I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
I
just
think maybe
overcoming
just learn
that language
Portuguese.
barrier.
I think
Uh-huh.
maybe learn Portuguese. Learn Portuguese, and then you can understand. But even then, they're using a lot of what they call calão, which is
It's like
like
the
slang
slang,
words.
right?
But even
Yeah.
if in Portuguese is it's complicated because it's a
Yeah.
political music is very political, especially from what
Yeah.
um I don't know.
Yeah.
Feel the music and then yeah.
Okay, sure enough. I'm just curious. I don't know if there's anything we can do for that. Um, I want to ask you this, man. What are some lessons that you've learned from DJing and dancing and everything from music that you've learned that you're able to translate to your everyday life?
There's a lot of things you can learn. I think you learn empathy because you've got to read the crowd, and you also got to read your dance partner. If your dance partner isn't comfortable dancing in a certain way, then you don't dance that way. You have to dance with your partner, not you just dancing for yourself. It's a mutual experience, isn't it? Where both people have
Yeah.
to enjoy it. You've got to humility because sometimes you'll organise events and people won't turn up. And then sometimes you'll organise events and hundreds of people turn up. But if hundreds of people turn up, it doesn't mean the next event. So
Yeah.
you got to have a lot of humility and you've got to be grounded. I think it's taught me to work hard because it's a niche market. It's something I had to help create along with my team myself. There's a lot of lessons, a lot about culture, a lot about different people's cultures and things that have happened in those countries as well. Like the Mozambique disaster that's just happened now. I probably, if I wasn't involved in Kizomba or African nights, or I didn't have block friends, I wouldn't have known about that.
Right.
So it's made me more aware of the world. Learn a lot of things. Never thought about it, but there's a
I
lot of.
understand that. Yeah, definitely. I definitely understand that, man. I'm curious, man. Could you tell me how has that I guess that polyp community, how has that influenced you? Can you describe that to me?
Yeah, I mean it's a nice kind of family vibe, friendly vibe. They like to party. So I think in England sometimes we can be a little bit boring. But they'll just like, right, we're having a house party and there's like 150 people in a small house. So I like
Okay.
that side of it. It was part of plot unit, wasn't it? Yeah, and like I said, I've learned a lot about the culture and the history and different. Sometimes when you grow up a certain way and you're raised a certain way, you have certain values, but sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean that your values are right. I think what you got to do is find the values that are right for you. So I like to take certain values from that community and put them into my own life, and then there's certain values, the English values that I'll put in, and then there might be certain values from another culture that I put in. And I think
Okay.
for opening the mind, it's opened my mind to a lot of things,
Mm.
providing me with a lot of fun times, a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Girlfriend as well is Palop, so it's providing me with a girlfriend.
All
So
right. Sure enough. I want to ask you this, man. I don't want you to get uncomfortable, man. But um, you are an English male, English, Caucasian male. Do you
Hmm.
think? Do you think you've had any pushback in that scene at all because of your skin color?
I think in general people love it because some people are acknowledging their culture, and it's not a culture like America where it's kind of
Okay.
globalized the world. But obviously, you do get a few people that that don't like it. You know, they might think, "Oh, you're misappropriating the culture."
Hey.
In general, I've managed to avoid mostly that because I think I grew up with a good foundation with pull-ups. So I kind of came in understanding, though obviously not everything, and I've learned on the
Yeah,
job, but
yeah.
I kind of understand where they're coming from and that kind of thing. Whereas I think a lot of people that have never had that contact with pull-ups, they don't understand the history and of the countries and how that affects the music and also their interpretation of music. So usually, what people will do when they first want to start dance is just learn all the saidas and all the moves and stuff. But the main part of the dance is the foundations and the connection with your partner and about listening to the music.
Mm.
And pull-ups are very good at listening to the music, feeling the music. And obviously,
Right.
that it would help if you understood the words as well. But I think going back to that question, a lot of the time is the rhythm of the voice. So if the voice, is slowing down or it's like a longer word, then you will slow your dance down. There's different ways of doing that as well. Different instruments that are used. You know, maybe a happier song it'll sound chirpier. Uh, but yeah, I've had a little bit. I've had a few issues, but mainly on I'd say 80-90% positive from the community.
Okay, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I said, and you stuck with it, man. So it didn't deter you at all.
No, no, and I always try to involve everybody in my team. For me, if you're good enough, it doesn't matter where you're from. You're part of my team.
Okay,
So
that's
if you're
awesome.
Polak, you're part of my team. If you're English and you're good enough, you're part of my team. That's it. I just want to bring people
Yeah,
together.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Let me ask you this, man. Why do you think it's important to teach the culture of a dance? Like when you're teaching it, do you think it's important? If so, like why is it important?
I think rules are definitely important in dance in terms of just a purely kind of cold scientific thing. I think culture is important as well. It can be used to help people about the rules of the dance. So, like I was going, the point I made before, where if it's Nelson Freitas playing and you're asking an English person to dance, then you're probably going to be able to dance Semba moves or whatever, or urban kids or whatever you want because it's not something that's ingrained in them. Whereas if you're asking
Oh,
to dance Nelson Freitas, then you're going to be dancing Tarashino or basic Kizomba steps to that. So I think it's important in terms of that as well because I think there's a lot of misunderstandings behind both communities. I think both the natives and both the people that are the dancers that are learning they want to dance, they want to connect with each other, but they don't know why they're not connecting with each other. So I think it's good to explain to the dancers musical interpretation, what kind of music is traditionally danced in a certain way. So then you avoid those issues, if that makes sense.
yeah, no, I definitely understand that, man.
Hmm.
I'm curious, man. Going back to like you teaching, man. Are there any common, I guess, mistakes that you see that that I might can learn from, or anyone else might can learn from?
I think not feeling the music.
Okay.
I think just not feeling the music. I mean, that's the main one. I think a lot of people rush from foundation to they want to learn all the saidas and all the kind of moves like that, but not it's not necessarily that makes your partner enjoy the dance. It's the connection.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and if you can do the basics really well, like for me, I actually think that sometimes the intermediate steps or whatever, the Saidas is actually easier to do than the foundations. I think with Kizomba, the foundations are the hardest. I think a
Hey,
lot of
man.
people struggle with Virgula, a lot of people struggle with retrocesso. A lot of people, because we teach in quite an Angolan way, struggle traveling in a circle. So a lot of people travel in straight lines, but they won't turn. They struggle to turn while they're traveling. So I think it's just really focusing on your foundations. But it's hard because everybody has an ego.
Right, right.
a lot of the time people have a bias where they think they're better than they are, or maybe they're bored. Maybe they're bored of doing the basics. It depends on the objective of the dancer. Some people go to dance to meet people. Some people go to dance to get better as a dancer. So, I mean, as long as they're coming and they're supporting Kizomba, that's the main thing for me because
Yeah.
um, I love the dance, but I love even more the music. So as long as
Okay.
supporting, so in my night, even I'm not nothing really to do with Urban Kids, but if you have Urban Kids people dancing at my night, I don't mind. If you have people doing Zouk Lambada at my night, that's cool as well. If you have people dancing Zouk from the Caribbean, that's great. It's for me, it's just supporting the music and supporting that. And if you come to the classes, then it's about we're teaching a Kizomba, so you need to know the rules, and I think it's the rules and the foundations that
Mm.
teachers really need to focus on.
I definitely understand that, man. Um, I was going back to what you're saying about the foundations being the hardest, man. A question I often ask a lot of pretty much all my guests is what does it take for an intermediate dancer to become advanced? And pretty much all of them have told me is the basics, the foundations. Going back to that and perfecting the basics.
It is, it's that, and I also think it's the music, understanding the music.
Hey,
Because
okay,
if you're now looking at what's quite popular in Angola now is called Semba or Kizomba, and it's not so much about Saidas, although they do Saidas, but it's more about quick footwork, and the guys are playing with their feet and they're using the instruments, they're using the
mm,
voice, and that kind of thing. So I think for me, I would consider those to be the advanced dancers, the guys that are tearing it up in Angola now. And I know Eddie posts a lot about it as well. And you're just looking at the feet and you're just thinking, how are they doing that? Like Ronaldo or Messi or I don't know what they're doing there.
yeah. It's that soccer, that football influence, right? Is
Yeah,
that what it is?
yeah. So it's like I'm like, what are they doing there? But it's to the music. So it's all about the
All right,
music.
that's that musicality, man.
Yeah. And I think if you have a good foundation, then you're able to then play with your feet and play,
Yeah.
if that's autonomous in your body, then you're able to
Yes, you.
people go to classes a lot, especially if you're a lead, you've got to learn the steps, you've got to be in time with the music, you've got to move your partner or lead your partner. There's a lot to learn there. So
Yeah.
it's foundations, making those foundations autonomous, making them automatic, and then you can take your dance to the next level.
And that makes so much sense, man. Because when it becomes autonomous, um, you don't have to think about it. So then you can focus on like the next thing, right?
The music, you're
Yep.
focusing purely on the music.
Exactly. That I think that's what changed from me when I first started dancing. Me focusing on just the basic step, and then once that became autonomous, I was able to listen to the music and focus on my partner and the connection.
This
You
is
know,
it.
yeah, that's definitely true, bro. It's definitely true, man.
And I would say practice on the dance floor. A lot of people do classes and they just go home because
Mm,
they're embarrassed or they say, "Oh, when I'm
right.
level." But the way that you learn is by socially dancing.
Yeah.
Get on the dance floor after the class and practice. Even if you're gonna trip over and stand on somebody's, hopefully you don't, but you stand on. At least you learn from your mistakes. So just have a lot of humility and just keep trying. Like I was awful when I first started, absolutely awful.
I mean, that's you should expect that though, right?
Yeah. This is it. Most people think, oh, that looks easy, Kizomba. It looks really, really easy. I'm gonna go there. And,
It's not that
yeah,
easy.
especially if they're from salsa. And I think with salsa, it's and even urban kids, I think it's easier to get good quicker. It might be controversial, but I think
Oh,
I think because the foundations in Kizomba are difficult, I think it might look like you're not learning anything, but you are. Whereas
yeah.
I think with like salsa, it looks amazing, spectacular. Then you have these urban kids guys lifting people in the air or whatever. So it's visually, it looks like you've progressed really quickly. Whereas I think with Kizomba, it's more about the feel and the connection with your partner. So it's less obvious to the somebody looking in that you've improved a lot. It's
Yeah.
about feeling and the connection. I think people need to focus on that. Is connecting with the dance partner. If the dance partner likes dancing with you, that means that you're doing a good job.
Yeah, man. I want to say two things, man. The first thing being, I heard, I believe in it. They said, social dancing is essentially just another form of practice, which you said
Mhm.
yourself. That's all it is practice. And your boy Eddie Vince, he told me, man. He told me, practicing Kizomba will improve your other dances. You know, so practicing Kizomba will improve your salsa, will
Mhm.
improve your bachata, you know, will improve, you know, your merengue, all that stuff. And I think I agree with that, man. I think I do.
I think definitely with timing and music as well. I think that's I've just started to learn salsa the last month or so, and I'm good with the music. I'm like on the one, and I'm on, I'm on the beat, and I think Kizomba's helped with that. Definitely with timing and music. Obviously, the movement is slightly different, but I think it's easier to go possibly from Kizomba to having a salsa movement than from salsa to Kizomba, because a lot of the salsa,
Yeah.
like, you have to be grounded in Kizomba and your weight's into the ground, whereas a lot of the time in salsa and bachata people are very light on their feet. So I think it's sometimes actually it's easier sometimes to come from a background where you've not come from salsa bachata and learn Kizomba. But it can help you as well in terms of timing the music. If you've learned salsa,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's easier to go from Kizomba to salsa than it is from salsa to Kizomba.
I think I definitely agree with that. Just as far as like because I feel like dancing to, you know, Kizuma music, to Semba music, it you have to have some form of musicality, right? You know, you have to dance to the music. You know, you can't dancing off beat. You know, I guess it's really just learning to dance on the beat and everything. You know, it helps with it. That's what I want to say. Yeah.
This is it, exactly. Yeah. It helps you to be on the beat. I mean, it's a different kind of beat with Kizomba usually. I mean, you do obviously have syncopated steps. So I think salsa is like 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
Right.
Is when you're originally learning anyway, you're on the hard beat. So I think sometimes people coming from a different, like the salsa background, they struggle to think it's just every. Because I think Kizomba, every beat counts. Every beat counts in Kizomba. Whereas you can there's more, you can change things more in Kizomba. I'm trying to think of a way of explaining it, but it's not fluidity. It's you're always doing that 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 in salsa, but with
Uh-huh.
Kizomba, sometimes you're going into slow step, double time.
Exactly. You can
You
mix
get
it
what
up,
I'm saying?
variation.
I think
Yeah.
it's where people sometimes struggle, but it's a different kind of musicality.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. Hey, I get you saying. Yeah, the salsa is that salsa. I was talking to someone else about this. The rules for salsa, I feel, you know, are more rigid. If you
Yeah,
don't hit that
is it?
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, you know what I'm saying, you gotta start over. You gotta get back on it. But with Kizumba, you could hit 1, 2, 3 and slow down. And you
Hmm.
know, play and you can, it's more playful, right? Could I say that?
Yeah.
You could be more playful in Kizumba
Yeah. It's
with
less rigid. That's it. Yeah, less rigid.
yeah, man, definitely.
Not a salsa expert. I'll probably get crucified from salsa people. I'm not a
I
salsa
mean,
expert, but
so I've been dancing salsa for the last 7 years, man. So I'm not an authority, but
you know more than
I
me.
I agree with you saying though. I agree 100% what you're saying, man. Definitely, I agree with it. So you're fine with me, man.
Well, it
Um,
feels like salsa feels safer because there is more of a structure. As I think Kizomba is.
hmm,
Sometimes people can get quite scared because they're like,
it's
why aren't we
free
counting
form.
to 8 all the time? Why aren't we counting to 8? And it's like, it's sometimes I have issues describing to people. It's not a 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and like, oh, you're counting 1, 2, 3 for a travel and 1, 2, 3 for a travel back, and it takes a while to get used to that, I think.
Yeah, yeah. It's that's you got to teach it somehow. You have to teach it some way, but you realize you can break away from that eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, man. Let me ask you this, man. How would you define success for your you know your group, man? Kizomba Manchester.
Success is
How would
different
you
ways.
yeah.
The
Uh-huh.
main success is growing the scene, actually having a scene, because we didn't have a scene before that.
Right.
And it inspired quite a few people in different towns and cities that are near Manchester as well. So it almost acted like the straw that broke the camel's back. So once we started our night, then other nights started. People had the courage to start their nights, or
Hey.
so it kind of set off a chain reaction of different towns and cities around the northwest of the UK doing their own nights. So I think it inspired quite a few people because they think, oh, they can do it, we can do it. So
Right.
this is a nice legacy, and quite a few people acknowledge that, um, which is nice. There's different ways to look at business. Obviously, it's not losing money. You got to make money.
Right.
On
Sure enough.
business,
Sure
make
enough.
there's the business side of it. You've got to be able to pay for food and rent and stuff. But I think it's more of a legacy. Just there's somewhere for people to dance. There's somewhere for people to enjoy themselves. and there's a place for people to learn and spread the culture, obviously, of Africa as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And also give the pull-up somewhere to dance, because it's not just Kizomba events that I do. We do big pull-up events. Like the biggest events when you're getting your 500-600 people are obviously it's an event that is there's a lot of pull-ups there. There's a lot of
Okay.
so yeah, it's helping the community out and giving the community something that they would only get if they go back to Portugal or Africa. So it's giving them a home away from home as well. So they're
Yeah.
comfortable and listen to their music and meet up with people that they may not have seen for a while, that they remember from back in the day in their own countries. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
ways to success.
Uh-huh. I'm curious, man. I'm just listening to what you're saying. Looking from the outside in, do you think the reason the bigger events are the ones where you concentrate with the polyps is that because when you when you're bringing them in, not only can they dance to it, but also pretty much everyone else can, right? Is that why those are more some of the bigger events?
I think one of the reasons is there's more pull-ups than dances, I would say.
Oh, okay.
That's I don't know if there's more, but there's definitely more concentrated. For example, in Manchester, we've got a very big pull-up community, very big. They've got like Portuguese cafes and African cafes and restaurants, and there's quite a nice community here. Also, I would say the higher quality events in terms of like artists. So I brought Nelson Freitas, for example. I brought Yuri Cunha to Manchester.
That's awesome,
They're gonna,
man.
yeah, they're going to attract dancers, and they're going
Hell
to.
yeah.
And if you have a night that has different kinds of music, then you're going to attract pull-ups. If you have a Kizomba night, then you're going to attract dancers and pull-ups that really love Kizomba. So
Okay.
the best ideal is you just have 2 rooms, because then you have Kizomba for the dancers and also the pull-ups, like usually the older generation that love Kizomba. But then you also have another room which is more for the younger pull-up generation, and also even commercial people that are just normal people off the street. They're gonna like enjoy an African night because they're gonna hear Drake as well and things like that.
Okay.
Not an Afro beats, Afro beats from Nigeria now is really popular in America as well. I can
Yeah,
see.
definitely.
Even they're getting signed by a lot of big hip hop acts, like Wizkid and things like that. So yeah, I think it's mainly when there's a big event with a big name, that's when you get the big support from the plot community, and we get support even at our weekly events, but it's more people that really love Kizomba.
Okay.
Yeah,
I definitely understand that, man.
yeah.
I'm curious, man, for people who are like new to the dance, to any dance really, um, but they feel like they're stuck in like a beginner's rut.
Hmm.
What advice can you give them?
Well, you can change change your teacher. Um, you also have to be honest with yourself. Like I think a lot of people they'll feel stuck in a. I think it's quite frustrating learning the basics, because I think with Kizomba, especially at the start, you feel like you're not making a lot of progress, but you are. So I think a lot of it is about patience. Try different teachers. Like I said, you can try private classes as well. That might help you.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it is just sticking at it. It's just stoicism. Like one of my friends was
Okay.
like torture when I first started learning. One of my friends, Peter, and now he's a really good dancer. He's like it was torture. He said for me initially just getting those basics in, but then when it clicks, it's kind of like knowing there's a better day tomorrow. I don't know,
Yeah, I understand that.
but it's a lot of hard work. But yeah, try a different teacher. Maybe a certain teacher clicks with you better than another. It might not necessarily be better, but they might just click with you better than the original teacher that you're with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the things really. That's the things I could recommend.
That's perfect, man. That's perfect, man. I'm curious. Let me ask you this, man. Um, what is one piece of advice you could give someone to instantly make them a better dancer?
Feel the music. I think
Okay.
feel the music or understand the music, because you can't feel the music if you don't understand
Uh-huh.
the music. Yeah, but feel the music. I think.
So I gotta ask you though, elaborate on understanding the music. What do you mean by that? And like, give me something actionable. Is it just listen to the music more, listen to the music genre more? Like, what can they do?
I think actually, you know, getting into the culture of it and the expectations. So um, it's all different things. It's knowing what part of it's the etiquette of the dance or what part of the songs you would do a certain part. Because, for example, in Semba, there's a lot of some afros. We call them full stops. So a lot of the time the song will just do it and it'll stop, and that's a form of musicality. You'll pause like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that don't understand the music, they'll keep dancing. I think it's knowledge. I think a lot of it is knowledge. It made me a better dancer, understanding the culture and the rules of the dance. Like I said, when I went to that course with Eddie and Velma, that's when it started to click. He was like, you know, that's my main. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
That's cool questions.
I understand, man.
Taking me as well. Thinking off the toes there.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Say, oh, no, let me ask you this, man. Well, tell me what are some of your upcoming events, man? What do you have going on in your life?
Man, we've got a lot. We're launching a weekly Saturday night on the 27th of April. It is a weekly, but it's not a weekly. I'll explain what I mean. Some weeks I'm away, like in Vegas and stuff, so obviously it won't run that night. But when I'm here, it's every week, if that makes sense.
Okay.
We have DJ Barata. I don't know if you heard of DJ Barata. He's a big pull-up DJ.
Yeah.
He used to DJ a lot of Kizomba and all stars of music, but now he's a house DJ. So we're going to have an event in Leeds, a city called Leeds. It's not too far from here. It's about 40 minutes away, an hour. We've got Barata coming. We have Keisha coming in the end of May to sing in Peterborough, which is a city near London. I'm involved in organising my first festival, which is called Batook.
It's awesome.
Anniversary, and we're going to have Bonga, the Semba singer. We're going
Dude,
to
I
have.
love bonga, man.
Yeah,
You gotta have bonga at the event?
I'm going to send you the link.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Dude, I love bonga. That's amazing.
And if I don't know if he speaks English, but if he speaks English, you could have an interview with him as well, or I
Oh,
could
man.
interpret.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's part of Batook. We've also got the Notting Hill Carnival, which is the second biggest carnival in the world. So that's part of the Batook event. So we have a float where Keisha's going to sing and I'm going to DJ and the other DJ is going to DJ and it's going to be in front of 2 million people. There's usually 2 million people at that parade.
Wow.
So there's some big things. To be honest, I was counting my events in May. I've got 18 events to do.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm trying to work out a schedule of how I'm actually gonna promote all those. So it's quite a busy time. Got a lot of stuff going on. I probably forgot really important events that are coming up, but
Uh-huh.
those are the things that are sticking out at the moment in my mind.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this, man. How can people get in contact with you? You know, how can they reach out to you?
My phone number is public. It's a WhatsApp number. So it's +44 for the UK, 7507 935 477. There's Facebook, which is Kizomba Manchester. There's also Sean Wilson. I have a few profiles because you're limited to 5,000 friends. So try to hit me up on all of the profiles because sometimes I don't look at the other profiles for a few
Okay.
days.
You're a popular guy.
Well, I don't know about that. But I know a lot of people. Instagram, Kizomba Manchester. Twitter as well, Kizomba Manchester. Snapchat. I've got everything's just either Sean Wilson or Kizomba Manchester. So yeah, you can check me out on those platforms and the phone number that I gave.
That's perfect, man. That's perfect. I wanna thank you, man, for taking time out your day to talk to me. I really appreciate it, man.
No, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for the invite. I think you're doing a great job as well. I've seen your interviews, and I think you're doing some good stuff there. So
Hey, I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. I want to ask you, man, you want to say any last words before I wrap all this up, man?
just thank you very much to everybody for the support over the years. Keep supporting Kizomba and the Kizomba umbrella, and let's just all have fun, have good times, and pray for Mozambique as well because the disaster there is pretty horrific. So, if you want to donate as well, you can hit a charity called the Smile of Hope. So they're currently in Mozambique, actually helping the people over there build the houses and giving food and clothes. And if you're in the area, Manchester area, you can also drop them off on my Tuesday nights, my Sunday nights, my Saturday nights. You can bring some food, clothes, or money or whatever, and we'll send that over there. So yeah,
That's awesome, man.
that's it from Mozambique. Yeah, prayers are with you.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's a great way to end the show, man. So yeah, like I said, man, I want to thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it, Sean.
You're welcome. Thank you very
Yeah,
much,
man. No
Terence.
doubt, man. Enjoy the rest of your night, Sean. All right.
Peace, man.
Hey, ciao.
All right, so hey everyone. If you made it this far to the end of the video, I want to thank you so much for just watching this. I really hope that you found value in this. My whole goal in this endeavor is to give a voice to people, to dancers, and to give value to the dance community. So if I'm not giving value, it's kind of pointless. So I strongly urge you to please comment and let me know where I can improve, what I need to do better, what I'm doing wrong, and hopefully what I'm doing right, but my overall goal is I want to give content. I want to be helpful. So please let me know where I can improve upon. I'm new to all this, so I'm learning as I go. So I need feedback. Please comment and just let me know how I can improve. I would greatly appreciate that. That means the world to me, just to be able to interact with you all, have a conversation with you and just, see what you like and what you don't like. That means the world to me. I love interacting with you all. It means so much to me. But yeah, thank you so much for making it this far into the video. I gotta say, please leave a like, subscribe. If you don't like it, then let me know why not. Hit the down like button, hit the unlike button. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
Like Pechu was teaching already at the time,
Oh
but
wow.
Pechu was in the capital. I was in the north of the country, so I was not related to this community. And then someday I heard about Pechu coming to Porto, which is like 20 minutes. I live in Braga. Is like is Lisbon, Porto, then is Braga, the third biggest city. So, but Porto and Braga are very close. It's like 25